Don't trust your government, kids. Wish is out this week, and Disney has missed every single swing they've taken this year, and you might be wondering if this one is any good. Well, I'm here to tell you. I'll let you know what works, what doesn't, and most importantly, what my 6 kids thought about it. Wish seems to be a very obvious attempt for Disney to return to Renaissance-era form, and I really want to applaud that effort very, very loudly. That being said, they are clearly trying to use some old muscles, and they didn't stretch first. Hey, I would appreciate it if you would stretch out your thumb or mouse-wielding arm. Hit that like button. So the basic plot that you probably picked up from the trailer is that King Magnifico suffered a tragedy as a child and wanted to prevent it from ever happening again, so he learned magic. He founded a small island and started his own kingdom, and welcomed people from all over to his little private utopia. We're told that everything is pretty good here, except to be a citizen you have to give Magnifico your deepest wish that then stays in his tower where he's keeping them safe. Once you give it, you don't remember what your wish was, and we see a little evidence that it kind of takes a little something from people, but they claim not to miss it. About once a month, he calls everyone together and grants a wish. We meet our hero, Asha, who wants to be the king's apprentice, and she's going to an interview where she learns that some wishes will never be granted, especially not her grandfather's. The big secret is that Magnifico decides which wishes to grant based on what benefits Italy... Rosas, the country of Rosas. Granddad's wish is to inspire people with song, but Magnifico doesn't know what he will inspire them to do. Maybe inspire them to riot or rebellion? It's just too dangerous, and he's got to keep a tight rein. Also, we find that the wishes radiate some kind of happiness, so Magnifico just likes to have them all around, and he's very protective of them. Asha is upset by the knowledge and wishes on a star, which shines brightly in the sky, and everyone in the kingdom feels very happy for a minute, and the little star thing pops in. Magnifico feels threatened by whatever spell just happened because he has outlawed all magic but his own, and he begins a jealous, paranoid spiral to tamp down whatever just happened. Asha begins her quest to free the wishes and give them back to the people. So we're getting back to the standard fairy tale plot lines that Disney is known for, and overall, it's a pretty fun movie with some excellent tracks. Magnifico's spiral into villainy is started with a great song called This Is the Thanks I Get, where he sings about how absurd the peasants are for questioning him in any way. The Wishing Upon a Star song that you heard in the trailer is fantastic, and Asha voice actress Ariana DeBose has an incredible voice. Later in the movie, as people begin to realize that Magnifico is not so magnificent, there is a Revolution song that is white hot fire. If you are a longtime Disney fan, you're going to love the Easter eggs in this. A couple I caught were Magnifico holding a wish of someone who wants to fly, and it's clearly a silhouette of Peter Pan. Asha's friends who live in the castle have the personality traits of the 7 dwarves. At one point, some magic misfires and hits a quill, which begins drawing a Mickey head. Bambi is in here, tons of references to their old work. When the credits rolled, there were outlines of famous characters from the 80s and 90s. They really want to find their way back to that, and I want them to as well. Now, a pessimistic person might say that they are simply trying to feed us member berries and distract from the fact that their products are terrible now, and I'm not saying that person would be incorrect. I'm saying that I am trying desperately to be optimistic right now, okay? Also, the animation should be mentioned. They're doing a 2D, 3D thing, where the characters seem 3D, but the backgrounds are 2D. I don't think it looks awful, but also doesn't add to the movie much. It's just kind of there. I'm indifferent to this. I'm a little shocked this movie cost $200 million, however. Where is Disney putting their money? You know, at least it's not just us paying stupid prices for the parks. Disney is also paying crazy prices for Disney products. Overall, I do think you and your family will enjoy this. But there are a few areas where Disney is still trying to find that old magic. First, the hero, Asha, basically nothing. Female characters are just getting the absolute storytelling shaft lately because no one seems to know how to handle them. I think everyone is so scared to either make a weak-looking woman or make a stupid girl boss, so now we just have these nothing women. If you saw the Barbie movie, you know that the most fleshed-out character is Ken. And in this movie, the best written character is villain King Magnifico. The writers aren't using kid gloves with the male characters, and shockingly, they turn out better. Asha doesn't really have much of a personality beyond the adorkable thing that they've been doing for a while now. Now, personally, that doesn't bug me, but I am seeing a lot of complaints about their reliance on that character type. Asha wants to set the wishes free, but we've never really seen a strong sense of justice in her or any kind of actual character that would cause her to oppose the king so fiercely. The only thing we get is just before Asha's interview, the queen tells her that she's rooting for her because she notices the way Asha helps people. The real driver of the story is Magnifico and his selfishness. But we don't see a strong selflessness in the hero to play off of that. She's just kind of there. I didn't really care about her, or her friends, or her sidekicks. Speaking of Asha, Disney was patting themselves on the back when they told us this is the first Afro-Latina princess. What does that mean? No idea, because this is the most generic princess ever. The concept of the island of Rosas means it has no real culture, certainly not an Afro-Latin culture. It looks vaguely old European, except the people there are every shade. This is the kind of shallow representation Disney is into these days. You know, we actually had cultural influence with Raya, Moana, Tiana, Mulan, and Merida. Asha is just there. It's also why this movie doesn't feel very alive. It has no culture, no spirit. It doesn't even have a New York multicultural kind of thing. Another issue is that the sidekicks don't do much. The star is nonverbal and is really childlike. It seems to want to help Asha, but is easily distracted and seems confused. The goat, voiced by Alan Tudyk, who I guess is making a career out of this now, is also just there to do some comic relief. It's not bad. I don't want to say this is bad. It's just not great either, you know? It's just there. It's okay. It feels like old Renaissance formula says to put a cute talking animal sidekick in, so they put one in. The last issue is the ending and what it does to the theme. The movie tells us relying on the king and his magic leads to ruin, but the ending sort of undoes all of that. Now, you've heard this movie has a message. Some people think it's an allegory for God and how we shouldn't rely on him or pray to him or whatever, like the wishes represent. If you squint and look at it from really far away, and you're kind of drunk, then I can see how you would draw that parallel. If you want to compare this to something, it's much closer to central planning and the totalitarian state. Magnifico only grants wishes that help Rosas, not individuals. They are a collective, not individual people. He also only gives them back a tiny portion of what they give, instead basking in the luxurious and happy glow of his wish hoard. And when his absolute authority is questioned, he goes instantly crazy. When they try to rebel, he enslaves them all. For a good portion of the movie, he doesn't even know what he's fighting. He just knows something is happening and takes it as a threat to his authority and his wish collection. The people give up the liberty to pursue their happiness in exchange for the security King Magnifico offers. Only the king is allowed to be armed with magic. Yeah, maybe bring chem goggles and gloves to the theater, because this is based. But really, it's a tale about greed and jealousy and how they are bad. It's fun to read into, but that's the real message here. So look, it's not perfect, but I did like it. I had a fun time while I was there, and I want to give it extra points for Disney trying to get back to fun family storytelling. I really want to encourage them to do more of that. But what about my horde of children? Okay, you got the scores up on the screen there with the ages. As you can see, everybody had a good time, from the teenagers all the way down to the younger kids. Likes, dislikes were pretty much the same across the board. Everybody liked this villain, and it's no wonder. He really is the best part of the story. Everybody's least favorite part was Asha, which again makes sense because she was barely a character. My wife really enjoyed the music and really liked picking out all the Easter eggs throughout the movie. She's really excited to see it again so she can try to find stuff she didn't see the first time. Her big gripe was that she felt nothing toward these characters, just didn't really care about any of them. She said the only character she actually cared about was one of Asha's friends, who there's a little development with him later on in the movie. My teenagers like the music, they like the straightforward plot, black and white villain, very simple theme. The 11-year-old was the only one to mention that he did not like the star and how much of a plot device the star was. 7-year-old pointed out that he really liked the animation, and I'm happy to report for the 4-year-old we had 0 bathroom breaks and 0 boredom, asking me for random things. Also, she said she liked the villain. Like I said, it's not a perfect movie, but we had a very fun time. Do I think it's a theater watch? Yes, I do. Do I regret spending money on it? Absolutely not. Am I and my family ready to see this one again when it comes to Disney Plus? Yes, we are. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, I really don't think you can go wrong with Wish. If you have seen it, let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.